Today I'm coming to you from my bedroom to shoot a video that shows you how you can record really simply just using your phone, iPhone, smartphone, as long as there's a good enough camera, and a microphone that you can plug straight into the phone. In my case, I'm using the Rode PodMic USB. This is a microphone I've already done a review on, and I've also done a battle on too. I wanted to use this microphone because I did quite a few tests with different microphones, and this was still my favorite to record if you're on holidays or something like that. The thing I will say, obviously it's quite big and chunky. You can take that off and it gets smaller, but then you do have the problem of the popping, because this is a pop filter, and so this goes on top of the microphone and it helps reduce those plosives that you have when you say P's and B's. And if we put this back on, if I say P's and B's, it's nowhere near as bad. So that's why the pop filter is important, even though it does make it kind of chunky. I'm using the iPhone 14 Pro, and I'm plugging it straight into this Rode PodMic USB using a USB cable. It's a cable that doesn't come in the box with the Rode PodMic USB. You have to get it separately, and I'll include a link to it so that you can go and find it. It is a cable from Rode. Once you have that cable, it's pretty simple to set up. You just plug it in and you plug in the other side. You can download the Rode Central app, which gives you some adjustments that you can make from within that app for this particular microphone. There's some processing that you can do. It's a nice little added feature if you know what you're doing from an audio perspective and you want to make some changes to the sound of the microphone so that there's less post-production. So the only other thing you really need is a tripod. And in this case, I'm using a Manfrotto Tripod with a smartphone adapter on the top of it. That just means that I can basically set it up wherever I want and have a tripod there. This particular stand packs down to be quite small, so it's very easy to just shove in a backpack and take with you. And then all you've got to think about is, okay, well, what's my backdrop going to be like? Do I have good lighting? There are some lights that you can get that are nice and small, but if it's something that you're traveling and you don't have space for lights, or you don't want to worry about charging them, or XYZ, all that sort of thing, you just need to make sure that you have good natural light. Now, in this situation, I have floor to ceiling windows on one side, which is directly in front of me, and then I have windows all along the side as well here in this bedroom. I have linen floor to ceiling curtains that are white that filter the light so that it's not smacking me in the face. Because the less light you have, the harder your phone or your camera has to work to actually give you the result, like to make you look good. The other thing to suggest is just to make sure that you have controlled the noise as much as you can. So in my case, I had some chirping birds outside, and so I had to shut the windows for those situations where there's dog barks or there's planes or there's, anything that you can't control. Just pause, because it makes it way easier to edit that out in post-production if you're just not talking over those things. And then the other thing I will say is that particularly in the iPhone 14 model, and I'm not sure about the 15 or the 13, but I know for my phone, I have cinematic as a camera option. So when I go to just the camera app on the iPhone, I can select cinematic, which means it gives you that blur. Even though it's not real blur, it still gives you that kind of distance from the background, makes it feel a bit more fancy than just the camera in itself. I'm also using the back camera to record so that I can record in 4K and have it be high quality, because the front facing camera is nowhere near as good as the back facing cameras, and so it's important that I've set it up that way. I can't see myself, but if I know how I've set up the shot to begin with and I've tested it, then there's no reason for me to be looking at myself through the whole time. In fact, it's quite distracting when I do that. So I hope that really helps. If you are looking to go on location, be a bit of a digital nomad for a while, you want to go on holidays and you want to record some content, maybe you want to record with some people, you can do it just with one mic like this, and you can kind of ask a question, pass it over. I know the flow of the conversation isn't as good when you do that, but the other option gets a little bit more complicated because you need to then have multiple microphones, multiple phones set up. That can be a little bit hard. So if you're trying to keep it really light then I suggest one microphone, high quality microphone, that you hold just like this. It's not heavy. And then pass it over if you're going to have guests on. And that will be a pretty seamless way to do your recordings. Only other thing maybe I would say is if you're going to have guests and it's cool to have multiple camera angles, then yes, 2 phones is good. Preferably the same phone, 2 of the same phone and 2 of the same microphone. And then you can set them up with different angles so that when you do the post-production you can split between them as well. So it just depends on how fancy you're going to go. It depends on how much effort and how much gear you want to bring, how much space in your luggage you actually have. But this is my recommendation, and I wanted to show you what it sounds like and looks like to record in a location that isn't my normal recording situation. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope that you will subscribe to the channel, like it. I will be doing all sorts of microphone battles, reviews, software reviews, anything to do with audio, podcasting. That is really what we do here at Bamby Media. And thank you for watching.